Hello, this is Hero from Leathercraft School. Welcome to day 24 of beginner course. Today, I will explain how to adjust the spacing of stitch holes. This is an essential technique for any leather workers. When you use pricking irons to punch stitch holes, you'll always have a start and end point. As you approach to the end point, you might need to adjust the spacing to ensure the final holes aligned perfectly with the end point. There are various methods to adjust spacing, and I think each crafter have a different approach. But the technique I will show you today is simple once you get hang of it. It also keeps your stitch clean and makes it hard to tell where you made adjustment. Now that I introduced what the spacing adjustment is, let's practice adjusting technique together. Let's dive in. The tool we will use for adjustment technique is 2-prong pricking irons. I'm using a pricking irons with a 4mm spacing, which means the distance between the center of the two holes are exactly 4mm. However, by using adjustment technique, you can extend the distance a bit longer, about 4.3mm to 4.5mm. Please take a look at this piece. These two rows of holes were made with the same 2-prongs iron, each with 10 holes. Can you see this row is longer than this side? Even with the same tool and both 10 holes, you can adjust the distance using this technique. If you master the space adjustment technique, you will be able to align the final hole perfectly at the end point easily. Now, let's practice how to adjust spacing of the hole. First, insert one of the prongs of the pricking iron into the last punched hole just as you normally would. And pull the pricking iron in the direction you want to go. And press the other prong firmly along the stitch guide and tap it with a mallet. By using this technique, you can extend spacing. And in the beginning, you may put the pricking irons too hard and scratch the leather like this. So please practice this technique multiple times until you get a sense of how hard to pull. This adjustment technique is more about repeated practice than tips, but there is one key point. In the beginning, I explained to insert one of the prongs into the previous punched hole and pull in the direction you are going. But while pulling the irons, I recommend angling pricking irons slightly tilted to the opposite direction you are going. If this angle is shallow, it may scratch the leather. So, before pulling the pricking irons, angle pricking irons to the opposite side of the direction and pull the pricking irons. Finally, let's try punching holes from this start point to this end point by adjusting space. First, let's check where the hole will be punched if we continue punching without using adjusting technique. Using the press and check technique introduced on day 22, lightly place the tip of the pricking iron onto the stitch guide. If we continue punching holes without the technique, the last hole is too close to the end point, so we will widen the spacing of the holes to make this hole aligned exactly with the end point. After punching some holes, let's do the pause and check technique again to see if the hole is perfectly aligned with the end point. We were able to adjust the hole to the end point. So we now can punch holes without using adjusting techniques. As you can see, I could punch the holes exactly on the endpoint. That's all for today. How was it? As I mentioned in the beginning of this lesson, this adjusting technique is an essential part of leatherwork, so it may take some time until you get hang of it, but I hope you will work on it until you make it. Now that I explained to you the all basics of pricking irons, I will start explaining the hand stitch technique from the next lesson. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a like and subscribe. See you in the next lesson. Bye.